So I've gone back and forth on whether or not I should shoot this video maybe 1,000 times. It feels ingenuine to not talk about it on my channel. And then I was like, maybe I could just post a community thing on the community tab. And then I was like, no, I'll make a video. And then my sister had the absolutely brilliant idea to call this video Why I Love BuzzFeed, which is still so funny to me. And I kind of low-key wish that I had done that. But I just feel like even though I am such the kind of person that makes fun of everything all the time, maybe this isn't the best time to be making jokes. So like millions of people all over the world during this pandemic, I have now also lost my job. I talk about my job a lot on YouTube, and not usually directly, but I do often mention that I work in news radio and that YouTube is not my, full-time job. Well, for the foreseeable future, YouTube is my full-time job now. Hey guys, let's upload more often. I started working at 610 CKTB, which is a talk news radio station in Niagara. I interned there my last semester of college in 2015, and then my internship ended, and they wrote me this really cute goodbye card, and then I showed back up the next day with donuts, and I just kept coming back every day until they hired me. I annoyed my way into a job. Literally, that is the truth. I showed up every day, and they hired me contract for a long time, and then eventually I was made part-time. And I loved my job. I loved every single, even the days that I would whine and complain about how I was, working all day, and then I would watch regional council, and I would just whine because I'm lazy, and I don't like doing things. Careful what you wish for, I guess. I loved my job. I loved every aspect of my job. And more than even just the actual work, like my little radio station, like that was my little family, when Harry Potter talks about how Hogwarts is his home, it was a little bit like that. Going to that super, super duper old building, it never felt like going to work, it felt like going home. That is what I will miss the most, is bugging all of my coworkers every day. Now I do have the sort of, I'm going to call it a benefit, but I haven't actually worked in the physical building in almost a year because of the pandemic. So that sort of routine isn't broken for me. I'm just getting up every day now and staying in my house the way I have been for the past year. I just don't have obligatory times I have to log onto the computer and that sort of thing anymore. So if anything, that does make it a little bit easier. If you're in Canada and you watch the news, earlier this week, Bell Media did start making some serious structural changes. Monday, we got the news that, I'm going to say almost everyone, but that's only because I don't know if anyone's left. So almost everyone from the CJAD, which is our station in Montreal, their newsroom, gone. The next day, 10:10, the Toronto newsroom, gone. And I texted one of my, I don't technically directly, I'm not technically under her in the sort of branch tree of how the workplace works, which is funny. But I messaged her and I said, LOL, what happened in Toronto today makes me nervous. And she messaged me back and she was like, don't worry, it's gonna be fine. Well, what did I know at that point that she didn't know? That was Tuesday night, and then Wednesday morning I woke up and I had this gut feeling that it wasn't like the shoe was going to drop, right? And then I checked my phone and I had a message from a colleague of mine that they had a meeting with our general manager that day, which is like, it's not good. And I checked my email, and I also had a conference call with her at 10:30, and had we been in work, like at the physical building, I would have started grabbing my stuff because I knew. And so I called her, and I can't imagine that job is easy. I have nothing but sympathy for her having to call all these, because it's not her doing, it's none of my colleagues doing, it's not, it's way higher up than her making these decisions. So how can I be mad? How can I be bitter? It's people who have never even met me who are responsible for these things. So I have nothing but still love in my heart and admiration for the people that work at my now former radio station, and the manager, even the one who had to call me and break the news. I just can't imagine that poor woman. I don't know her very well, but just imagine having to be the one to call a 3-foot girl in a wheelchair and tell her her services are no longer required. That poor woman. I sort of knew that was going to happen, and it doesn't make it any easier, but I do have the benefit. I just think about so many other people who have lost their jobs in the pandemic, and they don't have the sort of privileges that I have. You know what I mean? I still live at home. I don't really have any imminent bills to pay. Even if I did, I have 2 sets of parents, right? That's the benefit of your parents divorcing when you're young, is you have two sets of parents after that, and 3 sisters. I realize that it sucks that I lost my job, but I am in such a better position than other people are, and I have this as my number one hobby to fall back on, and thank you so much for always supporting and liking and commenting and that sort of thing, because my channel has actually given me a couple of checks in the last 6 months. So if maybe if I upload more often, I can actually use this as like a source of income. That would be great. But I realize that I'm in that place of privilege, but it does still, like, of course it still sucks. Like, I have never had another job. I have never applied for a job successfully. I've only ever had one job interview, and I was 16, I think, and it was at Michael's. And I'm sure they took one look at me in a wheelchair and were like, she can't stock shelves, we can't use her. So now at 27 years old, I get to go through all the motions of updating my resume and doing a cover letter and all of that, and I've never done that before. But I don't even know how to do that. Thank God I have like so many siblings that have had so many jobs, they can just like go through my stuff for me. Because I've never done that before. Like I said, I annoyed my way into my job. I never even applied for it. I got my internship because one of my college teacher's wife was in charge of one of the other radio stations that was in the same building. I didn't even have to apply for it. What I'm telling you is I am so ill prepared for the real world. But, we'll see what happens. If I never work in radio again, that's okay. I have this as my sort of creative outlet like that. That's okay. If this just keeps being my job, that's also okay. If I get another real job, that's also okay. I am mainly just sad that, I don't know, like, when you've worked somewhere for 5 years, and, like, those specific 5 years, like, I'm about to turn 27, but, like, when I started working at CKTV, I was still just, like, the most petulant, bratty, annoying child. And I feel like working there, reading these stories and getting to talk to the people directly affected by them and getting to talk of, the parents of missing teenagers and these people who have been in these awful tragedies and people trying to raise money so their kids can have life-saving surgeries, like, it really makes you grow up really fast. And I feel like if this Abby met Abby that started working at CKTV, I would hate her guts because she was so self-centered and such a jerk, really. I'm trying not to swear, but such a jerk. And I just feel like the work and my colleagues, like, they made me grow up and become a girl that I don't hate. They made me grow up and become someone who is, like, more of an adult and has more empathy for other people, and I'm really appreciative of that. And if they called me tomorrow and they wanted me back, I would take it in a heartbeat. I harbor no ill will. I will still always be a fan of the station and still support them in everything that they do. They're still my friends. They're still my whole heart. I just don't get to work there anymore. And I did cry all day yesterday to the point where I made myself feel sick. But today we're okay. And today I will drink a ton of water to make up for my dehydration from yesterday. And I'm just going to have to start figuring out stuff to do. Like, I mean, I haven't really taken like an actual real week off since I started working there. So, like, we'll take like a week off doing anything at least. Maybe I'll watch like all of the Vampire Diaries. I've never seen all of the Vampire Diaries. I stopped watching it on TV when it was airing because they changed nights. I could do that. I never saw like the last 4 seasons of Supernatural. I don't know. I could read a book. You know how long it's been since I read a book? A very long time. I always feel like I could be doing something better. I ain't got nothing better to do anymore. But yeah, I just wanted to make this video to let you know that I did lose my job. And I'm going to be okay. It's all going to be okay. Of course I'm sad, but I'm not mad. And I'm not upset. And sometimes this is just the way the cookie crumbles. And I know that, and you kind of know that when you go into radio, that eventually you're going to be fired. I didn't expect it to be this soon, but it is what it is. And I have been weirdly fortunate that so many people, even people that I didn't even think I really knew, so many people have reached out to me, offering me, like sort of condolences and support and offering to be references and offering, like, send me a copy of your resume so that I can send it around and try to help you find a new job. Like, I'm so lucky that so many people have been so kind. And I don't even know what I did to deserve it. I don't know what kind of saint I was in a past life. Like, I definitely didn't do it in this life. To be so deserving of so many people's help. I'm just hoping that someday I get the chance to pay that forward and maybe help someone else who's in my position find a new job for themselves. TLDR, I lost my job. We're going to be okay. Maybe there will be more videos than 2. a week now because I'm not doing anything else. Maybe some more vlogs. We'll do some more vlogs. I have to go through all my stuff from my, like, work that arrived at my house. There's this massive, I think you can see it, this plant over here that I never intended on coming here, but it's so big, and I don't know where to put it because it's technically not cat safe. So I can't have it anywhere Elena can get to it. That's why it was at work. And then, of course, there's Henry, my work fish, who has now outlived my job. Beta fish is gonna live forever. I'm just telling you, he's gonna live forever. And anyway, this is not the video I had scheduled for this week, obviously. You will just have to wait till next Friday to see my video on how I make face masks. And to see my face mask collection video, but obviously I've had to postpone that to make you this one. I don't know, like, I guess I'll just see you in my next video, whenever that is. Maybe there will be more, maybe there won't be more. I'm just gonna loaf for a little while now. Eat some snacks, watch some TV, because I don't really have anything that I have to do anymore, which is kind of fun. I never really had that before. I always did too many extracurriculars and worked really hard on school, and then I went right into my job, and yeah, this is the first time I've ever really had nothing to do. So we're just gonna hang out. Maybe I don't know, figure out some other places to put some plants so they're not just all over this area over here. Okay, I'm officially done blabbering. I'm running out of time. My camera's gonna die. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you have not subscribed already, and remember, please watch videos, interact with them, comment, like, subscribe, the whole thing, because I don't have a job anymore. So, like, if YouTube could start making some money for me, that would be great. I love you so much, and I will see you next time. Bye!